Hello, this is Neil Lemon for the Senior Citizen Workshop. Today in this video we're going to be talking about rounding off corners, dealing with foam materials that I generally deal with when I'm making products. But when it comes to those corners, when I make the cuts, they're always square. But boy, I really had a time with that. So I'm going to kind of show you what I'm doing. But first, if you're new to this channel, give it a like and subscribe and help me to make a difference for senior citizens who are on the low totem pole for employment. And if you are a senior citizen working in arts and crafts, come join us at the Senior Citizen Workshop. It is where you can gain more attention for the arts and craft products that you make. Experience more web traffic visitors to your website for the arts and craft products that you create. For more information, visit our website at seniorcitizenworkshop.com. Hey, what's going on, guys? So on my mini table saw unit, I had my table saw extension work unit that was connected with, and I was able to cut out these squares. But what I wanted to do is to round off the corners, and that was kind of challenging. That I wanted to do that, and I really wanted to be able to do it quickly. But I had the idea of finding these products when I did a search, and this product here is like they're really sharp. They're like razor blades, but they're bent so as to cut into the material and form that roundness around the corner. But however, when I tried it, it wouldn't go through it. I mean, it's sharp enough. If you put your finger on it, you'll cut yourself. But you have to really get a hammer and kind of hit this to try to make an impression on that. But the way it is, really, I really don't like the way the cut is on it. You see, I want more of a sloping type of round corner, not this type of roundness where it's really it's almost still square, even though you got the roundness. But I still don't like that. I want more of a smoother roundness to it. So anyway, it wasn't expensive to buy these. I think I got it off Amazon, but it actually kind of came through another company, like I think it's called Tumi or Timo. So anyway, I ordered this. It took like over a week for it to get to me. It seemed like it felt like 2 weeks. And it has the various ones, for different type of cornering. But they're really tight on the cornering that it gives you. So I didn't like it, But what I found out was with the table saw, this mini table saw unit, it actually comes with an attachment. They kind of give you this gear chuck here. I need my key right here. It's the key to the chuck here. All right, so this is probably, it looks to me like it could be 1.5 inch or maybe even 2 inches. Okay, so let's see how big this is. This, it looks like to me, if you guys can see that, looks like to me this is more or less a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's more like a 1 7/8 inch disc. I thought it'd be 2 inches. But anyway, that comes on there. And I really like this attachment, So I could tighten it. Let's tighten that on. Okay. So this here is a 400 grit. This didn't come with it. It does come with some sanding disc that actually fits this exactly. But I just thought I'd use this because the sanding disc, the grit that it gave me, wasn't coarse enough. I needed something a little bit more rougher. So I just got this out of my own supply. I used to do headlight restoration, And these are the 3-inch discs that you would use. This 400 I used to use, just removing the clear coat from headlights. Okay, but having said all that, I know it's an overlap because the disc is 3 inches and it's bigger than this 1 7/8 disc. So I turn it on and I'm able to do a better rounding of this. This is going to be the one I'm going to work on here. And this is the one that I did. Look how nice that is. Nice and smooth. And so I got 7 of these units I'm working on, but I really need to be able to do them quickly. So let's go ahead and turn this one on. And I want to kind of zoom in on that so you guys can have a good look at that. All right, so I'm going to be rounding this off. I don't want to pass the line, so I just want to just right there. All right, that's nice. Look at that. Oh, that's great. So, it's not perfect, and it's a product that I'm making that as long as it's close to being perfect, it's not going to matter because all of this won't even be exposed when I'm done with the product. It's going to be a beautiful product, but it does the job. I mean, look at that. Now, what I was doing before, let me shut this off. It's all noisy. What I was doing before was I was using this razor, right? You always got to be careful when you handle these things. You want to have your gloves on, but I'm not actually going to do it. But what I used to do is I used to just kind of cut it, But when I was doing that, it would just still have these jagged edges, and it never really was right, when I was doing that, And so, it's sharp, but in the end, you still get those jagged edges. However, if you get a mini saw disc that has this attachment for a sanding attachment there, then that's great because then you can use this on here to round it off. Now I'm gonna tell you what I should have done was to get another block set right here, maybe even 2 of them. Matter of fact, I don't want to use these because I'm working on these, right? Oh my goodness. I grab a couple of these ones. Okay. It really blends in with the color on this background here, so it's kind of hard to see it. So now, the reason that I like to do it this way, which I should have done, right? Because it's going to keep the cut flush and straight, all the way around the curve. It's going to keep it straight. When you're doing it by hand, you may tend to, do like that. And so you're not going to get that straight flush cut all the way around. You might wind up getting around this, which you don't want to get. So I think it would be smart for me. And these are just scrap pieces to just stack my pieces and just put it up against it and just go like so. When I'm doing that, and I'm keeping it straight. All right, so I'm keeping it nice and straight. Okay. So that's what you can do if you have one of these, or you might have a separate, grinding tool. I've seen some they're like a belt, and so you put it up on flat level. They have a plate that's up against that belt that goes up and down. It basically just rotates around and around, and then you just put it up against it, and you're sanding down the areas, whether it's wood, and in my case, foam. So it works so much better, you know. Doing it with a sharp knife, that'll take me forever. And if I'm trying to make multiple units, I need to move quick. Okay, so the mini disc, the mini table saw unit with my table saw expansion work area that you guys seen in my other video, that really helped me to fly through all these pieces that I cut out. It would have normally taken me forever to do the 17 pieces that I have here, because I used to do it by hand. I used to cut this out by hand, and I did that. See, that's what these scraps are. These scraps are what I was trying to make the panels. Of course, I was on around the edges, but the problem was I cut each piece out by hand. And when I was cutting it, it wasn't straight. See, I can show you the edges on some of these, and you see how that is? It almost has a taperness that way. You see, and that's when you're doing it by hand. I think you might really see it on this one here. And it's terrible. Anytime you're doing stuff by hand, it's just gonna be awful. Got to really see it there. You see that taper? So, but anyway, I've been upgrading myself from doing it by hand, by having this little mini table saw disc, and then to be able to do the bigger pieces by my table saw extension unit that I made on it, so that I have a bigger worker area. So it's all great. But when it comes to doing those corners, I can now do it. It's nice and smooth. Okay, look at that, it's nice and smooth. I think I have to work on this one. That's the one I was cutting on. See how jagged it is? So anyway, there you go, guys. All right, guys, so that's the video there. And I hope you guys come and join me for another video I'll do. I'm going to take this apart, because if you ever think about getting one of these, I just want to kind of show you guys how easy it is to take this apart, change the blade, actually have the blade put down in here. Since I already put this on, I'll show you the interior, what it looks like. All right, so like I say, if you're new to this channel, give me some likes, subscribe. All right, catch you guys on the next video. This is Neil, the Senior Citizen Workshop. Take care.